podcast. Oh my God, Chris Ross is in the house. Chris Ross. That's awesome. Just to make sure that we understand what is happening here, Chris Ross is the founder of Vinjex Studios, right? I know you, guy. I know you, man. Because there are people also wanted to introduce me to you. For example, TG Thomas. He said, one of my last questions that I always ask is, who do you want, or who do you recommend for my podcast? And I interviewed TG Thomas, who is the real. What's up, brother? I'm perfect. I'm doing your live shows and speaking with Chris Ross teaching. That's cool. Do you want to come into the show, my friend? I can invite you. Just wait a second. And then we can do a conversation if you want. Just let me check this. And then you can come into the show and I can see you. How cool would that be? If you have time, of course. I mean, I know you're a busy man and you have a lot of things to do, but this could be fun. I'm just checking here. I mean, how cool is that Chris Ross is in the live session and speaking with me. I'm just posting a link. And if you follow this link, you can also come to the show, which would be cool. Give me 5 minutes. You'll get 10 minutes, my friend. That's how cool is that? So, yeah, the topic was how to create your podcast and monetize it. but yeah, Chris Ross is also here. Yeah, TG Thomas is a dear friend. He's a cool guy. TG Thomas. I interviewed TG in my podcast. He's the founder of the Unselling System and teaches people basically how to sell things in a very ethical way. I mean, I hear this. I get an introduction of somebody from. Oh my god! Chris Ross is out. What's up?
Isn't that crazy, bro? Like this is obviously I'm morning time. This is London behind me. So this is my normal time that I'm actually working on like reports and whatnot. And I don't deal with social media all day. Like I deal with it in 45 minutes of after checking reports. And I just happened to click LinkedIn and I saw that you're live. I said, my man's live. I'm going to go live. All right. So I'm just love, dude. I didn't know what was going on. So what's up, man?
Yeah, good. I'm perfect. It's cool. I have Chris Ross in my live session on LinkedIn.
You're right. Yeah. Well, like, I mean, you start your day, right? You start your day with the intention of obviously, outstretching your own limitations in life. And you start your day going, okay, oh my gosh, I got a huge hill to climb. But then most people in life, they're reactive. They're not proactive. But then when you start your day, you'll end up pushing through all that adversity in a day, and it ends up better than you actually intended it to start out. So we're good to go, man. But every day is a blessing. And finally, we've had a chance to have a conversation because I've been hearing the birds chirp, but I've been busy building what I've been building. So for the last 3 months, I feel like I lost some years off my life, but I'm looking forward to this, man. This wasn't planned, but hey, I'm here now, so we're good.
Yeah, that's cool. That's really cool. Yeah. So you're definitely on my podcast list. So as a podcast interview,
right. Yeah. So we can make that happen for sure.
Yeah. What is your number one? So one question that I got yesterday is how to start and monetize your podcast. This is a question that I get all the time.
That's what led me to building what I'm building. So just to kind of give your listeners a little bit more context on what I do and what I'm about. I'm the guy that's been behind the scenes for probably almost a decade of structuring and building out the sales process and aligning that process with, sales, marketing, operation, and fulfillment. And that's where I met our good friend, TG Thomas. He's actually a brother of mine. I love that guy to death.
Yes, he's cool.
He's such a great, just inside and out, just a phenomenal individual. So we actually worked together on a project years ago. Feels like a lifetime. And we were producing, 1.8 to over $2 million in revenue a month for the company. So, and that's what we do is we know how to ethically enroll people into programs and building out the infrastructure on what it's supposed to look like, now you have a sustainable product or service and good. So when, just to kind of give it, a little bit more understanding. So when I sold my 2 trade schools, my 2 programs to the trade schools to America, that's how the podcast came about. I didn't know I wanted to start a podcast, but how do I train 13,000 people indirectly? So I started a show. So I built it in within the infrastructure of the contract that 13,000 reps in the trade school had to listen to season 1 through 3. And that was going over the methodology of the win-win effect. So, and that's where I immerse myself so much in someone's situation that I want to feel what they're feeling. So now with my mindset, I'm able to show them anything is possible if you actually believe in yourself. So that's what I do. And I started reaching out to, when the schools went through and the sale went through, it was over 8 figures type of deal. So that was a big, huge accomplishment for myself. Then I was left with a dope ass show. It's like, what do I do with this show now? So I started interviewing people. So TG was one of the first guests I actually brought on to interview. Cool. So when I started interviewing people, the podcast blew up, and I was just so blessed and grateful. Then I started reaching out. So what do I want to do with my life now? So do I want to go back to companies and do everything that I've been doing for years? But I've always felt like I've been pulled towards like broadcasting and media. So I reached out. I had Mark Acosta-Rubio. Do you know that guy?
From the name, yeah. Okay. But I don't know him personally.
Okay, but he's a phenomenal individual. He teaches like 8-figure and a 9-figure type of earners and getting them to the next level. Okay, so that's what he does. Richard Koch out here in England, he dedicated a book, the 80-20 principle, to Mark Acosta-Rubio. So big guy, big name. So, but he's always been the guy behind the scenes. It's kind of like the areas of, that's where I feel normal. So he reached out to a couple networks, and I just wanted to see how it worked. I was like, how can I align the educational approach to podcasting? Yeah. Because podcasting, you're set up to kind of like lose because it's very similar to networks are set up just like the music industry, where they take the creativity away from the artist. They tell them what they need to do. There's no control. But the only way to kind of blow yourself up and getting you more eyeballs or more ears on obviously your listenership, increasing that, you need to have the right network or the right people around you. Well, It's like legal loan sharking. You know what I mean? So I was like, that kind of struck me the wrong way. So I approached these networks and said, I have a proposition. Either you can come in with me on this, or I'm going to build it. And because what I'm going to build, it hasn't been done. Because I'm going to build a community where everyone can come to, and the only charge that we're charging podcasters is $94 a month. And within that community, we're going to come together to focus on that collaboration. And that's where all the music happens. And that's where the TV branching out. So Winject Studios, you have Winject Radio, that's podcasting. Winject Music, I've already signed a couple artists. And then branching over to Winject TV. So that's why it's Winject Studios. So I'm in the second phase now. You were involved in kind of the beta test. It was just like figuring out. I need more data to kind of figure this stuff out. Now I've got it down. So we're going to open up the floodgates, man. So we're talking about trying to monetize. Over 80 to 90% of podcasters don't make any money. You know why they don't make any money? Because they don't feel like they don't want to sell on their show. Well, you don't need to sell on the show. Leverage the community to do it for you. So that's what we're all. So when me creating this type of platform, in order to change the game, create a new game. And that's what I've done. So, and I was just having a conversation, Justin Breen, right?
Yes, he's a great guy.
I love that guy. So he was just on.
So cool.
Yeah, he was just on. I interviewed him last night. He's an official partner of Winject Studios. Like the names that I have on the back end of this, what I've done is I built the infrastructure where a podcaster comes to the community. Now they have access to all these resources that they would normally pay an arm and a leg for. If they went to their website to try to pay for Justin Breen, that's expensive.
Not possible.
It's impossible. So because he only works with a 0.01%, he's already my PR team. So when we're working with those, we're trying to figure out how can I give a bite-sized version of what you do to make it accessible to every podcaster within the community. Because people have a great message. If you have a great message and you're purpose-driven, I'm after you. That's who I want. I want someone that's purpose-driven and they live by the same principles and values that I live by. And that's just by changing lives. I don't have to think about what I do every day because I get to do what I do. I don't have to do
Yes.
what I do for a living. So if you're purpose driven and you want to make money, making money is the easy thing. Community, where you sign up, and obviously as a 10-day trial, you mentioned 10-day trial. That's what popped my attention. You mentioned 10-day trial. Well, that 10-day trial is that way you can get access into the community and get instant access to monetization. You're trying to make money. Well, from day one within my community, you can start making money. And that means all the affiliate programs all within my system that you got. If you want to grow your listenerships, you're focusing on your downloads. You want to turn those downloads into dollars. You want to, I don't know, you get show notes. You don't have access to that. Well, I broker deals on the back end of this where we're a one-stop shop educational hub of anything you potentially can need. There's other partnerships that I don't want to drop the names just yet because we're about to officially announce, but I will put it this way. I'll say one name, Amazon Queen. If you Google who that is, these are the physical products we're obviously thinking about putting in the back end of this. So there's so much happening right now. I feel like you know how you work on something for so long and you're getting to the point where you're taking your vision and actually now it's going to be a reality. I just can't wait to sit back and watch everyone go, oh, that's what he was building. Because everyone thought I was building a network. I'm not building a network. What I'm building is a community first. I'm building the only podcasting community out there that is podcaster centric. It is built around a podcaster. So that's what we're here to do, man. We're not just going to change the game. We're going to just create a whole different game. And then that's where all of us are together, that one heartbeat, one mission, one outcome. That's how we're all going to collectively win. So I'm excited, man. And really, I don't believe in like accidents in life. There's a reason why I saw this live pop on. I was like, well, man, I haven't had a chance to talk to you yet, but because I've been so busy. But it's like, my man, what's going on? So we're good to go.
Yeah. That's cool. That's really cool. I appreciate your time. So if people want more information, they should go on winject.com, right?
Yeah, that's it. Simple. Just winject.com. That's another partnership that I built in on the back end. The people that custom designed our website, they're going to have a service to be able to serve all of our communities as well. So, and they're going to there are the packages and the wholesale stuff that I'm brokering these deals. You can't get this stuff anywhere. Like you can't, it's impossible. I'm the kind of entrepreneur that puts in so much work on the market evaluation and value propositions and breaking all these little angles down. There is nothing out there doing this. By the time they catch on to what we're doing, we're already 5 years ahead and there's an IPO happening. So this game's called We Win. You want to be a part of it? Join. We got you.
Yeah, for sure, I think.
I'm excited, man. But yeah, this has been good. So like you have obviously your show, you get a lot of questions with your stuff that's the biggest thing, isn't it? Like people trying to make money.
Yeah. So monetization is a big thing, and most of us, and also the technical things. So how to start my podcast, what is important, how to win interview partners. I mean, last week I spoke with this just in the beginning. I interviewed Steve Sims, who works with,
I love him.
Sir Elton John and Jay Abraham. He had him in his podcast, and that's unbelievable. And that's just more fun to speak with him, just instead of having a client who pays me, because that's just, you can learn so much from these guys. And that's
how podcasting came about for myself. That's what made it so much more fun for me, because the first 3 seasons, it kind of like was my way of indirectly training what I've done and being able to get, obviously internationally ranked in a top 5 for over 8 years in sales. But that was the whole joke. I never sold anything to anybody. I just presented them an opportunity. You know what I mean? So I've never sold. That's not the way that I go about doing business. So when I was doing this and I started interviewing guests, I realized, I was like, man, that's all I want to do. I didn't want to do what I normally would do and go into companies. All I wanted to do was just talk to people on the podcast. I was like, well, how can I create, like, how can I build a career doing what I love to do? And that's why it's called On Winjet. That's what our slogan is empowering purpose-driven podcasters to build a career doing what they love to do. So if you love podcasting, you love having conversations with the 0.01% of people out there and picking their brain, then build a show. If you don't, so there's there's a lot of people, they don't have, I guess you would say, the confidence. They feel like the platforms, it's going to be expensive for them to do a show. They want to make money and they want to see the return on investment, because one thing that people don't want to do is they put their heart and soul through a microphone into a platform and then nobody shows up. Well, that's why the community's there, to lift you up. If you elevate others, you elevate yourself. So when I had an opportunity to meet Steve, I don't know if you got to this part of his message. The way his approach is this: people pay him to solve their problem, and the bigger they are, they don't want to admit that's a problem. So that's why they pay him as much as they do. So I want you to think about that overall, and as a, not a tactic, but an approach. Like, what do you do right now for a living that you feel like you're the best in the game at? And then whatever that might be, you're charging for their problem. You're not charging for a product or service or a good. Charge for the problem. So if you solve, like what I've done with Winject Studios, and I'll post a link here in a minute of, not the link of the show, but the one I was interviewing last night, Justin Breen. It's a YouTube channel. I'll find it in a minute. But when we're trying to figure out what is the bigger problem, what's the biggest problems when it comes to podcasting, I've solved all those problems like that. But there's no one doing it because they don't have the educational approach of understanding what accreditations are all about and doing things the right way, morally and ethically, and if you're aligned to what you're supposed to do in life. So it's exciting, not just to what we're trying to accomplish overall, but I can't wait to see what's going to happen within the next phase. The next phase, there's a country music star that we got on, and she's going to be doing a podcast talking about her backstage pass on her tour. There's another show, but it's applying that show to it. I'm going to build the funnels behind a firewall for her to stay at the top, not just be in the top 5 when her record drops, stay in the top 5. Let's get it to the top. And that's how it's done by independent stuff. I'm going to post this link. There's the link from last night from Justin, me and Justin having a conversation. That was a great conversation. I could talk to that guy forever, man. But
Justin is just amazing.
Anytime you want me to come on your show, man, I'm down.
Yeah, it would be really fun.
Right, I'm down.
I will connect you again. Just let me show the link so that people also can see it. So Justin Breen, by the way, just to create some context, is a former journalist, and I mean, he got them all: New York Times and Forbes and international, national media, everything. And then he started to, at one point, he said, "Okay, I'm just tired of all these bad pitches that I got. I want to do this in a better way." And so he started his own PR agency, and is helping clients around the world with their PR campaigns. That's basically what he's doing, sharing their stories within the traditional media. So in content marketing, you have different areas. One is earned media. That's basically PR. And that's what he is doing. And he's doing this in a very good way. I interviewed him for his book promotion also in my podcast. It was really fun.
Yeah, he's a phenomenal individual. And I don't know who introduced me to him. It was been that, like we talked about it last night. It's just, this is the official partnership of doing something massive. It's just a byproduct of having a dope ass conversation when we very first spoke. We've caught lightning in a bottle 2 or 3 different separate times. And, when this all came about, I started reaching out to good friends of mine. They're still good friends of mine, but I was going to build it out. And I just had the wrong players in place. I had like a Michael Jordan sitting, playing center, and I had a Kobe Bryant, you know what I mean, sitting on the bench as a 6th man. I'm like, what am I doing? So that's why I went through that beta phase, and I have the right players in place to do the right things for individuals. So Justin, his 0.01, that's who he offers. His offers are ridiculous because it's the value. It's not him. It's the value on what you're going to get. It's almost a guarantee of you getting to the right people. So then I have also the partnerships on the back end. If you want to get on Forbes, Entrepreneur Magazine, Yahoo Finance, or Yahoo, all the Yahoos, Googles, you want mentions, you want shout outs, you want to get your verification, blue ticks. I have all that in store too. I have everything you're going to potentially need to get yourself to a high level. And if you're a podcast, if you're a content creator and you don't have a show, we have a system in place to be able to help you launch your show. Like there's,
Yes.
I've
cool.
thought of every direction known to man where you can't see. My job's to put people in a position where they can't tell me no. So that's what we're doing here. When most, like, I'm a businessman and just happens to have a podcast, right? But there's podcasters that don't have a business. But I'm going to teach you how to treat your hobby and your podcast like a
Very
business.
important. Yeah.
Like treat it like a business, and you'll reap the benefits from it. If you treat it like a hobby, you're not going to get it the right attention it needs. So I'm excited just to be able to be a part of something that, yeah, of course, you know, I'm in the process of building, but it's already built. It's over. Like it's that I can't believe, like, even when I was showing Justin on the back end of this, he goes, "You've done this in 3 months?" And I was like, yeah. I was like, everything's there. We've done it in 3 months. And Adam Shiabley, good friend of mine, he's the general manager of Winject Studios. He's the guy, he's got over 600 episodes of podcaster. This guy's a veteran. So there's everything you're going to need to be able to manifest the life that you want to create. Just go and create.
Yeah.
So it just don't be reactive. If people are out there in the world and they think that this is just too difficult, you know, or I don't want to do that, it's too much time. Not if you have the right system in place, and that's the system. So
Yes.
I'm excited, man. I'm thoroughly excited.
Just Fred. So we have to continue this in a whole another episode, I think.
Yes, for sure.
That's really
sure.
cool.
Yeah, for sure.
That's really cool.
I'll have to I'll send you a message after this, and we'll get booked in. We'll get booked in for a show and stuff. Now that I can allocate more of my time and actually recording episodes and stuff, I can have you on my show as well. So
cool. I would love to do it.
But join the community, man. Get in there, and then we can make this happen. So, but I appreciate you popping me on, man. That was fun.
Well,
who knew?
We were really fun.
Right? Who knew?
What is going on?
I heard you in the thing. I actually popped it on when I'm on live. Well, not live, when I'm watching live. So I do watch a lot of content, but I had it up there on my other screen. And then I heard you say my name, and I was like, "Oh shit! Okay, I'll pop on." So let me pop on real quick.
No way back. No way back. I have to go in. All in.
I was like, "All right, man, I'll jump on." So,
that's the power of LinkedIn Live.
Right? Yeah, but I'm looking forward to it, man. Anytime that I can connect with great minds, that's what I'm all about. So, but I appreciate you letting me hijack your live for a little bit and have some fun. But it was good.
Really, thank you. See you. Have a wonderful day.
You too, man. Take care. Bye.
Bye. So here we go. Oh my God. Woo, this was fun. Thank you again, Chris. So what was I talking about? I have no idea, ladies and gentlemen. This was really cool. So we are crushing it with the time. So are there any more questions? Just let me check this. So far, not. Okay. So, yeah, wow. That's the longest live session that I ever had. Wow. So if you have any questions, let me know. So we can also make a deep dive. I'm just also putting the links that Chris posted, so that I just make sure that you get them. So the main message should be that you start your podcast today and also create or follow communities like Chris is creating. That's very important that you don't do it yourself. So there are many best case studies or best practices, and follow these guys. Follow people who are already doing what you want to do. That's always what I do. And the podcast is also a great way to get in connection with them. I mean, he said, I would love to be in your show. I can also interview you in my show. That's the way how it works. That's the new world. But many people, they are afraid to do this. I don't know. Just take a step and try it. That's my thing that I wanted to share today. So if you have any more questions, just let me know. Write it in the comments. Would love to answer them. And hopefully see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.